I have been saying for 3 years at this point, F1 will become the predominant motorsport in America by the end of the decade. Well, we're on the doorstep of it. Here's the TV ratings from last weekend. NASCAR on FS1. 2.56 million people. F1, 2.2. Updated from ESPN. And that F1 being on ABC, that does help a little bit, but mainly with the older crowd. Now you have to factor in F1 TV onto this. If you factor in F1 TV, F1 wins. And that's not even the biggest that's not even the biggest blow here. Look at this number right here. And again, this isn't factoring in F1 TV. F1, over 750,000 people. NASCAR can't get to 500,000. This is the most troubling number for NASCAR. They can't get a young gun to watch for crap. While F1, when you factor in F1 TV, easily over 1 million people in the 18 to 49 demo. Easily. And it goes back to what I have been screaming for ages with NASCAR. Well, very quickly after they moved the championship race to Phoenix. They need to axe the playoffs. Axe it, kill it, take it out back behind the barn, old Yeller style. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Because it is hurting NASCAR in so many different ways. You have, with the playoff format that NASCAR has, you don't get that week-to-week storyline of the points. There is no urgency at all in the regular season. Whereas in F1 right now, Max Verstappen is 6 points away from being able to opt out from Red Bull. So, next weekend in Imola, that race means everything to Red Bull. You have Lando Norris second in the championship. He needs to win Imola. Or else he is falling very far behind of his teammate and will lose any shot of being that number one driver for years to come. And the Lando Norris era is officially over, and the Oscar era has begun. And then, and all the way down the order, it is crucial each and every single week for the mid-pack teams jockeying for position. And there's urgency right now in F1. In NASCAR, there is no urgency. There is no week-to-week storylines because all you need to do is win one race and you're in the playoff. Win one race, you don't have to worry about another thing until the playoffs. So, there is absolutely no urgency here. None. So there's no point on watching. There's no story to tell. There's no ongoing storyline to follow. There just isn't. Because that's what this format has produced. And that's one of the big things. Another thing, the other thing is that the product is it's just not good. It just hasn't been good at all. We are at, oh, God knows how many. We were at 4 straight races of 50% or less on the Jeff Gluck's Was It a Good Race poll. And now we are sitting. It was at 52%, yes, last time I saw. So we still haven't gotten to that 51% mark. But yeah, so 50%, 50.7% said Texas was a good race. And so we are now at 5 straight NASCAR Cup Series races that are under 51%. 5. And these aren't bad tracks that they're going at. Well, Texas is, but we're going to Martinsville, we're going to Bristol, we're going to Darlington, Talladega. And less than 51% of the people who watched said this race sucked. 4 of the 5 tracks that they have gone to are good tracks. Historical tracks. And not even 51% of the NASCAR fans can say this was a good race. Now, I'm willing to bet my bottom dollar that Kansas this weekend is going to be a good race. Kansas always produces a good race. So I'm gonna guess. I do believe Kansas is gonna end up breaking that streak, but still, a big problem nonetheless. Because again, this key demo here, this is everything. This is what the sponsors look at. The potential sponsors. 18 to 49. Over 3/4 of a million. Over $1 million when you factor in F1 TV. Less than 500,000. That's a problem. And I can guarantee you that it doesn't even get us to 6 digits in the 18 to 49 demo. Then IndyCar, they're just still in a full rebuild. And the coverage on Fox hasn't been bad. It's been fairly good. But the Jamie Little here, I think is really hurting. Good pit reporter. Horrific play-by-play. Absolutely horrific. And that needs to have changed after Daytona. And you have the Xfinity doing just over $1 million, which the Xfinity series is probably the best of the NASCAR touring series. And from everything that I've heard, that wasn't a very good race at Texas either. So there is that. So we got some actual news to cover too. NASCAR to rotate the championship finale and will return to Homestead in 2026. Thank the Lord we are headed in the right direction in this particular department. Finally. So, Nick Groot of Motorsport.com put together this wonderful article. Homestead, Miami has hosted NASCAR's championship weekend every year from 2002 to 2019 before finale shifted to Phoenix Raceway from 2020 onwards, but calls from both the drivers and fans for the fans to return to the popular intermediate track in South Florida have grown louder in recent years, and now it's finally happening. Homestead will again host the title decider for the NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, and Truck Series in 2026. But perhaps equally important to this fact that NASCAR has officially announced plans to rotate championship weekend moving forward to various tracks every year. The goal, per release, is to ensure that the season's exciting conclusion is shared amongst NASCAR's marquee venues and key markets, similar to other major sports championships. NASCAR will showcase its championship weekend on a new rotating model to provide greater exposure for its season finale in multiple markets. In the next-gen era, Team Penske has been undefeated for 3 consecutive seasons in the title decider, winning the championship every year. Phoenix will maintain 2 Cup dates on the 2026 schedule, with NASCAR confirming that it will have a race in the round of 8. It is unclear whether it will replace the penultimate round of the playoff. Homestead has a history and of course this is Ben Kennedy's doing. Everything good that happens in NASCAR is done by Ben Kennedy. He is the only one actually making a concerted effort to make the fans happy. He is the only one in the NASCAR administration. Steve O'Donnell, Steve Phelps, Elton Sawyer could give 2 craps less. Ben Kennedy is the only one who actually gives a rip about the fans. So, good for Ben Kennedy. Good for NASCAR for finally making this. My question to you all is, what tracks would you want to see host the championship finale? Martinsville, Darlington, Bristol, Charlotte? I'd like to see Kansas, actually. I think Kansas would be a lot of fun. I think Las Vegas would be a lot of fun. I also think New Hampshire would be pretty good as well. But my number one would honestly be Kansas. I would go with Kansas. I love Kansas. I like racing there on Heat 5. It is always a fun track. Now, moving into some other news on the F1 world, Alpine F1 team boss Oliver Oakes resigns with immediate effect. This came to a surprise, and I think it's really showing how inept Alpine has truly become. This is gonna be their 3rd team principal in 3 years, I believe. They are so Oakes was brought on in July after he replaced Bruno Famian. Famian replaced Otzman a couple years before that, and then he was only there for I think 2 years, maybe not even. Now I understand replacing Otzman. Can't remember his name, but I know it started with an O and it was really weird because he because Alpine lost Fernando Alonso and Oscar Piastri right under their nose, and that was on his watch. So I do understand that, but Bruno, he kind of got the shaft, and Oliver Oaks has resigned. I don't know if it was like we don't know for sure if it was just Oliver Oaks just saying, "There's nothing I can do. I'm out of here. I'm not wasting my career here," or it was Alpine coming to him saying, "Hey, quit or get fired. Your choice." So I mean, it's just Alpine continuing to show how not to run an F1 team. They are the new Haas. They are the new. They are the new Williams. They are to be pointed at, laughed at, mocked, because Alpine is an absolute joke. And I feel absolutely terrible for Pierre Gasly. He deserves better. He's a good driver. And definitely deserves better. And now, his new teammate, Franco Colapinto, is replacing Jack Doohan at Alpine. So, a lot of moving pieces with just 1 week off. Franklin Colapinto will replace Jack Doohan after just 6 races. Doohan not having the greatest season, but of course, I'm pretty sure I saw a John Deere riding lawnmower overtake an Alpine last weekend in Miami. It has not been a easy ride, and I just don't know. I just don't know what Alpine was expecting here. I mean, the car's not very good. Jack Doohan, he's a rookie. He's got I think just 2 starts under his belt coming into this. And I just don't understand why pulling the trigger this quickly. I know Colapinto has been a bit more impressive, but I also believe that the Sauber car isn't that much worse than Alpine. I think you're going to get an identical result. I don't think Colapinto is going to be winning it as much, but you're still going to get an identical result. I mean, you're still going to finish 15th or worst each and every single week, and nothing is going to change. And it's going to be thrown off even further because of the change at the top again for the 3rd straight year. And I believe and I'm not even sure who's replacing Oliver, but I think it's this Joker here. And from what I hear, he's not very liked. At least by F1 on X. So, a lot of mess at Alpine. It's only going to get uglier. And I do believe they are. I know they're not sitting dead last because Pierre Gasly somehow got points. Let's see. Alpine got. Okay. They got 7 points. So, all of them from Pierre Gasly. So, yeah, it's so yeah. Alpine bigger. The mess only gets bigger. So, thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And if you're watching on Rumble, make sure to like the video, and hit the follow button. Greatly appreciate it. And we will see you in next one.